All right, it's taping day. Got my ultra lightweight joint compound, because that's all they had at Lowe's. Didn't have the regular old light blue. Got all my tools here. My corner trowel, which I never see the pros using these, but I'm no pro. And I upgraded. I got some better joint and taping knives. One of the regulars, back when I was doing the bathroom, commented and told me to throw away all those plastic ones I was using last time. Kind of think it was canned heat. New pan, new mud pan, fresh bucket, which I won't be using this much. I do think I'm sticking with the paper tape. I really would like to figure out how to be good with this stuff instead of the mesh. So I heard that it's a whole lot better to use this stuff if you dip it in water. So I'm gonna put some water in that bucket, and then I got pre-mixed in here. You can see some has been done already. I did all this with some quick set. A little bit of pre-filling. I just filled all the really big gaps, and I went ahead and hit all the screw heads while I was doing that. You can see the typical little joints. I've still got those. That way I can hit the mud beds, everything at the same time. I need to get this spool of Romex out of here. Also, no longer need the drywall cutout tool. We will not be cutting any more drywall in here. So I got big goals, and I'm almost scared to share them. Tonight is Thursday night. If I can finish the mudding between tonight and tomorrow night, that means I can paint Saturday. And then if I can finish that on Saturday, I could put carpet in here on Sunday. That would be pretty miraculous, I think, but I don't think it's impossible. So that's what I'm shooting for. Wouldn't that be amazing if by Sunday night this room was painted and carpeted? So I've been working every night this week, every night that I can. I worked so late at work yesterday that I didn't have time to do anything yesterday, but every other night this week so far I've been mudding for like an hour. But tonight I got home pretty early. I just went and recorded my little injury update video. And then now I'm getting started on this. So I hope this light green is as good as the blue that I used in the bathroom, because that stuff I actually really liked, but they didn't have it at Lowe's, so. The bucket's definitely lighter. Do a little mixing on it. Oh, nice. All right, let's scoop ourselves some of this. Kind of looking forward to using this because every time I mixed up that quick set, or yeah, whatever it is, the stuff I pre-filled with, I was getting it consistently totally wrong. So this would be nice using some of this pre-mix that I know is mixed up good. Oh my gosh, I'm slinging this all over myself. Seems like it needs any water added to it. Seems pretty runny actually. Doesn't have as much of a smell to it as the blue stuff did. I had a hard time in the beginning on the bathroom. My taping did not go very well. But I think with my previous experience now, I won't be struggling nearly as much. Another problem that I had when I taped with that quick set. And I mixed it a little bit too dry or something. Conditions weren't right. I don't know what was going on, but it started setting up like way before I was ready. So that was messing me up too. But I think also just never doing it before, I kind of just, you know, no idea what I was doing, didn't have confidence. Didn't get enough mud under the tape, started bubbling. Looks pretty good. Let me put a little bit of water in this bucket. I didn't never try that. I never tried dipping the tape in water. So I'm interested to see if that helps me very much. Just filling my bucket up in the bathtub in the bathroom. Alright, here we go with the water. See if maybe I can clean some of this off of this bit. Okay. Got big hopes for no bubbles this time. I noticed towards the end of my first time doing this in the bathroom, even though a lot of the guys that know what they're doing say to put it on light so that you don't have to sand as much, if you don't know what you're doing, it's a lot easier to put it on heavy and then sand it until it looks good. So that's kind of what I'm trying to stay towards. That was another thing that messed me up, is I tried to keep it super light to make sanding easy. And then I discovered sanding, honestly, isn't that bad compared to doing 100 coats to try to make your application look good. So I'm thinking, especially probably on this first coat, just try to keep it heavy. I'll sand it down if I've got to. Alright, even though I don't want to. Well, actually, I think I'll do this corner next, or this side next. I really don't want to do a corner yet. That was the worst part to me. The worst part was this top corner in the bathroom. It's a hard, being a corner but not being a perfect 90 and being up over your head. I really had a hard time with it. Told myself I was going to tape the light switches and outlets off before I did this, and then now here I am. Man, I forgot how fast you go through this stuff. I'm already almost all the way through that pan. I have such a hard time getting used to it. take extra precaution to not crease the tape. I don't understand how guys ever get fast at this. Putting a little more pressure into my initial application this time. I was noticing I was having to go really thick to hide that last piece, and I think it's because I filled so much behind it and then didn't push any of it out. Push a little harder on this one, but without creating any creases. Nothing on the light switch yet, which is good. I can't be replacing this light switch. That dimmer switch is expensive. I think this is going better. Okay. Now let's get the 6-inch knife. Maybe I don't have to apply it so thick on this one. Oh yeah, that's more like it. Slightly difficult time over the outlet scale, trying to be careful around it. Yep, that's how I expected taping a mud bed to be. A lot easier to enjoy things when everything's going well. I hated taping in the bathroom because it went horribly right off the bat. All right, I guess we may as well attempt a top corner. I think the biggest part to not having the bubbles behind the tape is just making sure that there's no spots that aren't totally filled in, which is harder than it sounds. I think I'm gonna run out this mud pan before I put the tape on. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this back up before I had 2 hours to do this, and I already only have an hour, which means I've already been doing this for basically an hour. Started a little bit uneven. I thought, oh yeah, 2 hours, I'll get a ton done. Here I am with 2 joints taped, an hour in. Oh Lord, I just leaned up in my other joint. Everyone probably saw that happen right as I leaned over. I didn't even notice. Didn't actually get in it too bad. I am noticing it's like setting into the mud a lot better though. I don't know if it's just the water or if it's just my mud application, since I'm kind of putting it on thicker than, or at least I'm trying to put it on thicker than last time. Last time I pushed it in and it didn't really want to stay. All right, this is too tempting. Oh yeah. The boys will think that is hilarious. I'm liking this. I think this is going well. All right, that's looking very good, I think. And I'm doing it without using the corner tool. Oh my gosh, that's not going good. It is crazy hot in here. I got the window open, but it's not very cold outside. All right, hate to accept defeat, but I think I need to use the corner. Okay, that is not helping. I was doing way better without that thing. Okay, just undid some work. Maybe just fill it in with this, and I might use that 6-inch one, or the corner for one of the more finishing stages. That did not work very well. It kind of just scraped all the mud I just applied off. Kind of the problem with that thing is, oh my gosh, I just slid the tape. The problem with that thing is it's like more than a 90. So you have to like push it in there, and then you're kind of pushing too hard. All right, one ceiling corner done. That's one of the harder ones. I guess let's do this tall corner next. This definitely doesn't want to fold on its crease. So if you're not familiar, paper tape has a crease in the middle for corners, and it's a lot harder to get this to fold on its crease once it's wet. It just kind of just wants to fold anywhere, which I guess it doesn't really matter if it folds right on its crease. I don't want to get too much confidence. I kind of can't believe how well this is going so far. I was struggling so much in the bathroom with every corner. I did terrible on every corner. Still not doing very good at keeping my hands out of this. I keep touching the areas that I've already applied the mud to. This little intersection right here is probably the worst part of any of the hanging that I did. This did not turn out very well, but let's see what we can do. I know I was supposed to stagger the boards. I've heard it, I've seen it. I knew when we were doing it that was not the right way, but I don't know what to say. That's life. Yeah, everything about this would be better if I had staggered the boards. I knew when we were hanging these that it was wrong. Limited time, limited help. Difficult to get everything textbook perfect all the time, always, so to where you go. I hate this reaching up over my head stuff. I don't know what it is, but my shoulders start aching so fast. Reaching up high like that. Well, I guess I'm not getting everything taped tonight like I hoped. Nothing ever goes as fast as you hope it's going to. As to this, right here, I guess. Quitting times in 10 minutes. Oh, what are the odds that I would drop? Oh my gosh. I got a lot right on the roll of tape. Nothing's safe. All right, glad I've got one I don't have to fold again. I think I think wetting the tape is helping. I'm pretty sure. What's not helping is me constantly letting it touch the ground and getting dirt behind it. What's also not helping is my injured shoulder that I can't reach up with. Jeez, look at the amount of water I squeegeed off of that. Honestly, this is probably the main seam to try to get right, because this is the only one that you're basically always going to be able to see everywhere you stand in the room. See if I can do this without making much more of a mess. Oh my boy. The main seam down the middle of the bathroom is the main one I ended up working on over, jeez, and over and over and over again. I just kept doing coat after coat after coat, trying to make it look good. And you can still see it. It's not that, it didn't turn out great. Based on my experience now, I think I didn't set the tape deep enough, so it was kind of protruding, because I had a bunch of mud underneath it still. Kind of the issue I'm having right now in some spots. Push some of this out from under there. Trying to not have to refill this tray again tonight, but I'm not making the most of what's in here, letting it fall on the ground constantly. Where did that come from? All right, I think I won't have to get any more out. Okay, not too bad. A lot of tools I need to get out of here. All right, I'm calling that a night. All right, so I've sanded and applied a second coat to the majority of what you saw in the last part. This wall, I think, is basically done. May need a little bit more touch up here. The ceiling still needs quite a bit of work. The corner over here still needs quite a bit of work. And you might be able to see, I've got two projects at the same time going on in here. I'm doing slab corrections while I'm doing mudding. So I've got another video on that I'm recording back and forth, trying to not group conflicting parts of the remodel into one video. Let's get to sanding. I'm hoping maybe I can paint today. All right, magically everything is masked off. Just did masking tape on all the outlets and just put a couple of like grocery store bags over the lights. And I got this Wagner paint sprayer, and it says to just test it out with water first, make sure everything's working right. So I've got water in the tank. I really don't know how this thing works, so I'm hoping I can just kind of figure it out. All right, that seems simple enough. And I could not decide on a paint color in here, so I'm just going with this interior acrylic latex paint and primer in white. I figure maybe someday a color will speak to me, but for right now I think white will be sufficient. I'll just kind of test out the white for a little while and then decide if another color comes to mind. I can always paint it again later, but for now I'm kind of just trying to move quickly. Honestly, the color of walls isn't really something I think about very often. Eventually, what I'm thinking right now is I kind of want to make this wall an accent wall. I'm thinking about doing like some wood paneling or something on it and doing either brown or black wood. I'll see if I can put up a picture of what I'm thinking right here. Just like kind of charcoal colored like cedar planks. Maybe that, or just like a dark brown on this wall, and then maybe just leaving the rest of the walls white or gray. I don't know. I kind of hate to just do black and white everywhere, but at the same time, that's also just kind of what I like. Okay, that seems pretty stirred up. Pop that down where I can't make a mess with it. Leave myself some room to add some water in case I need to. I was reading, I think, that sometimes you need to add a little water to these. Okay, I guess let's just go for it. Not too bad, honestly. It does get heavy in your arm moving it around like that, or have to hold it up and move it. I can see that I didn't completely fill this mud bed. Just right there, it looks pretty good the rest of the way. It's kind of one of the reasons why last time and this time both I kind of rushed into going ahead and painting it. Shows you what areas need a little bit more touch up. The pros don't do it that way, but that's the easiest way for me to do it. And that is nice to finally have that door, not just that initial primer kind of yellow color. It does look like I'm probably gonna go through this can of paint pretty fast. Let's beat the heck out of roller. Get this wall over here. I'm liking the look of this. I like the little bit of this kind of puts a texture on it a little bit. And actually, really, I like the look of it. Not very unique, just kind of the classic texture you see on most places everywhere, but honestly, I'm not seeing too many sheetrock imperfections showing through. Almost none of the corners are perfect, but I kind of suspected that. I was just not getting the hang of the corners. And this is a whole lot better than roller brush, I can tell you. I did not enjoy doing that last time. Kind of crazy how expensive paint is. This bucket was $44, I think, and I've almost used the whole thing already. All right, now what I'm dreading the most is the ceiling. This is looking good though. This is looking really good. First coat. I'm a little bit concerned about running out of paint before I get this done. I don't have that much in here and I gotta do the whole ceiling still. All right, I went and bought another gallon of paint. Got something to eat, let my camera charge. Let's get the rest of the ceiling and get a second coat on everything else. This is the scariest part. Imagining this slipping out of my hands, totally full of paint. I think that turned out better than the bathroom did. In the bathroom, when I was at this stage, I had a lot of drywall corrections I needed to do, but this one, I mean, there's some stuff I could do if I wanted to be picky, but I think it's good enough for me. It's like I've mentioned before, I'm willing to put up with some imperfections if the trade-off is me, saving the amount of money that it would cost to hire someone to do all this work. Pull these off so I can actually see what it looks like. Okay, so definitely gonna have some touching up to do around the lights. We gotta spot the bag stuck to the wall right there. Wonder if I can spray that without making a mess. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so that's with the full lighting, what it'll always be like in here. Really surprised that paint isn't drier than that. I touched that bag where it had been sprayed on, and the other bags. Okay, good, at least the ceiling's dry right there where my hat touched it. Yeah, this is nice. Just a white box. Like I mentioned, I'm thinking a lot about doing a darker wall here. Oh, and another thing. Okay, that paint on that tape is still extremely wet also. It's surprising. This paint's supposed to be dry to the touch in 30 minutes. I've got the dimmer switch on here, so I can dim it down like that. Which with that lighting, you can't see any imperfections at all. Oh, I guess that bag touched the wall right there. Well, I guess it's a good thing I didn't clean this out already. I guess let me open this window, maybe that'll help it dry out in here a little bit more. So a little look around. It's still wet, so it looks a little bit inconsistent. Overall, man, the door looks a lot worse on camera than it does in real life. I don't know if that's just the lighting, or I don't know if that's gonna show up in editing, but there's like it's showing like a dark spot here and there. I can't see that at all with my actual eyes. Definitely a lot simpler, just making everything the same color. So now as soon as I get the flooring down, which I'm going to start on next, I could cut the hole out and move my bed and computer in here. And like I keep mentioning, if you guys can't remember, this door isn't permanent. It'll just be here for now until we get a little bit farther into the remodel. But once this door is here and then the hallway's built and stuff, I'll take this door out and just sheetrock that off. That way I can have a complete wall with a bigger desk here. Yeah, overall review on this gun, pretty good. This is the Wagner Flexio 2500. It was the cheapest one that they had at Lowe's. Whole lot better than a roller brush. And I used about 1.75 gallons of this Golden Glow and interior acrylic latex paint. One coat coverage did not work for me. I didn't apply it heavy enough, I guess. It's so bright in here now. So there you go. I feel like there's not a whole lot left to say. Feels very modern in here now. Not like an old crappy house at all. So I'm gonna get started on flooring. I still got a lot of afternoon left. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching.